It's time to focus on Pickaway County with another Litter Media Live edition. I'm Dan Ramey. Thank you so much for watching. And we have in studio today 3 guests. We have Marie Wilbanks has returned with us. Hi.
Hi.
And for the first time, we have Cindy Ramey here.
Hello.
There's no relation, by the way. We're just good friends. And also Prince over on the other side. And he's happy already.
He's showing off already. That was adorable. Oh my goodness.
We'll explain who they're with and why they're here in just a moment, right after this from Classic Brands.
You asked, we delivered. New Mike's Hard Lemonade, zero sugar. Zero sugar. Amazing taste. Years in the making. Now that's a drink worthy of the name Mike.
You may have heard of the acronym CASA. We're going to tell you what CASA means and what it's all about in Pickaway County. And Marie is a board member, and also we have Cindy, who is an advocate, and you are right in the mix of all this with CASA, right?
Yes, you're right.
So tell us, first of all, and Prince is a therapy dog. So sorry, Prince, didn't mean to leave you out of the conversation there. First, explain to us what CASA is and its purpose.
CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate. We advocate for abused, neglect, and dependent children in the court system that come into Pickaway County.
Mm-hmm. And where did the need for representation come into play?
The need is that these children are placed many times with relatives. Also, they're placed many times in foster homes. These kids are removed immediately, usually if they need to be removed, if they cannot stay with the parents. So we advocate for their needs, whether it be medical needs, whether they need book bags, whether they need something for school. We also make sure that all their mental health is taken care of, that they, just anything the kids need, that we advocate for them. We prepare a report for the judge so the judge knows what's going on with each child in the court system.
And that helps the judge too,
yes.
I'm sure. We were talking beforehand that Jan Michael Long was the judge when this began in Pickaway County.
Yes. Pickaway County has one of the oldest programs in the state of Ohio. There's approximately 48 CASA programs in the state of Ohio. So Pickaway County, I think, started 33 years ago, something like that. So, yeah, we're one of the oldest programs. We're highly supported in the county. Presently, we have 26 volunteers, I believe. And myself, I'm the director, and then I have Kelly Cornett and Dodie Radcliffe are volunteer coordinators for the program.
I'd like to come back and visit on how people can volunteer to be a part of CASA as well.
So you just have to reach out to the CASA program. Of course, you have to do a background check. You are required to do 30 hours of training, and then we ask you to do some court observation, all the while deciding if you're a good fit for the program and if the program's a good fit for you.
Yeah. And Marie, you have many hats in Pickaway County.
I do.
How did you get involved with CASA?
So I kind of inherited my spot on the board. So my husband was involved, and he was stepping away to actually go onto another board, and thought I would be a good fit. So I joined, and I think the first thing they said was, "Hey, do you want to be our president?" Oh, okay. But I was very familiar with CASA. So I work for the Pickaway County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and we work with CASA anyway. Some of our kids are in the system, and we have worked with their volunteer guardians for years. So I was trying to remember how many years I've been involved, and I want to say 4 or 5.
4. I think this will be your 5th year.
My 5th year, yeah. So I'm coming in. This is my 5th year, and I have just watched this program, which already was robust and doing great work. I have watched Cindy take this to a new level. We have been very intentional about recruiting solid board members, pulling in volunteers, making sure that we're getting our brand out there, and you can see that difference. We have a brand that's pretty well known in Pickaway County, so I'm very proud of that.
Yeah. We were discussing beforehand how you think CASA in Chillicothe, well, you're thinking Casa del Taco.
Correct.
But no food involved here, right?
No.
Well, that's not true. Sometimes you have volunteer recruitment events, and we will feed you. Usually like cookies or something, but so not quite the same thing.
Right.
Where does Prince come into the mix here?
Prince is soon to be 6 years old, but he's a therapy dog, and he goes into court with children. He goes into court with families these families are in crises, and many times just Prince being there kind of takes their mind and relieves their mind off of things. Prince also is very helpful in the courthouse. He's set in all the different courts in the courthouse, but he's also helpful with the employees there. If you're having a bad day, they come down and, talk to Prince a little bit and get to know Prince a little better. He greets everybody in the mornings. I try to get there a little early, and he greets everybody as they come into the courthouse. So that's his role.
And I tell you, when I just met Prince in the parking lot earlier, and he was the show in the parking lot.
He is always very popular. So we have, if you don't mind, we have a float that we put in parades, and it's been such a huge way to get our name out there, and people say thank you, CASA, as we're going by. But Prince is usually on the float, and all you hear really as you're going through is, oh, look, the dog. So it's great, it's wonderful, but he steals the show everywhere that he goes.
Oh yeah, he's a great dog. He enjoys riding the float.
Yeah, now this is not his real personality. Usually he's just like, hi. He likes pets. I'll say that.
Yeah. The CASA program, it's one of those situations where it's a difficult circumstance. Mm-hmm. These kids are put into difficult circumstances thanks to life and the mismanagement of life of adults. It's great that you have a mission to help these kids in a special way.
Right. CASA gets involved after the case has been adjudicated, and many times, like we said, the kids are removed from their homes and placed with families. And if you can imagine being a grandparent and possibly getting 4 children, all of a sudden that, you weren't used to being in your home, or you may not have bedding or anything like that. So CASA also helps acquire those items for the families, whether it be beds. Sometimes we help out with gas cards. We help out with different things to get the family organized and sustainable until they can get help elsewhere. So that's what our fundraisers are used for. We donate that back to the children in Pickaway County.
That was about to be my next question. How are you funded? And obviously you've got an event coming up soon that you wanted to talk about as well. Right.
So some of the salaries for me and my staff is through VOCA, Victims of Crime. We're also funded partially through DYS, Division of Youth Services, and also Pickaway County Juvenile Court. So that's how our funding is. But our fundraisers are raised for the children and the families to help reunify or help them with whatever they need until they can get reunified.
Can you, Cindy, I'm a little bit familiar with this because as part of the board, we're giving you approval for this, but can you give some examples of where you have these emergencies and you need to go out and make these critical purchases so children are going to be comfortable in this new setting? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Right. So we have done, simple things as we've done horse therapy. We've done for a child in need that wanted to have some horse therapy. We help out with sometimes groceries, sometimes it's gas, sometimes it's bedding, sometimes it's a family may need an appliance or something, so we help locate that and if possible help out financially with that. We also help them, like it could be something just for school, like we've helped pay for a Washington D.C. trip, not all of it, but some of it, and we've helped do simple things like reeds for a child that was in band and needed reeds and didn't have it, and the family just couldn't afford them. They're kind of expensive at this point, and so anything the child needs, we try to help out. And also, if the family is in need, we try to make the family as sustainable as possible.
You're almost like gap insurance.
Yeah, actually, and you can think, in these times of turmoil, you're already trying to adjust and provide some emotional stability, and if the difference between feeling comfortable in a setting really can be bedding, what a great way for us to kind of swoop in and take that piece off the plate, right? Of the stress of that off the plate. So that's a great reason to support CASA.
Thank you.
I know in some of the mentoring agencies we talk about matches and how many cases they're dealing with. Mm-hmm. What kind of a volume are you looking at?
I think last year we served 156 kids in Pickaway County, the CASA program.
And how many, so this is good information for me as well. How many cases typically does a volunteer carry?
A volunteer is only allowed to carry 2 cases. But with that being said, one case could have 6 kids. Mm-hmm. So, it depends on that. But we call each case
A family.
A family unit, yes.
Now, the volunteer side of things, again, as you mentioned, just reach out. We've got the information scrolling across the screen here. But that's for those watching, those listening on Literary Media Radio. How do they get a hold of you, and where can they, or what qualifications do they need to have? I know you talked about some certification they have to go through.
Qualifications is a heart. You have to have a heart. You have to want to advocate for these kids. You do have to have training, 30 hours of training, and then also we offer court observation that just gets you prepared for when you have to go into court. You are sworn in as a court
Volunteer guardian.
yes, and you are sworn in, so you are a court member and a mandated reporter at that point. And so you have to report what you know, and if you see anything, you have to know. The volunteer has to go into the homes, assess what the children's needs, make sure that what they need is happening. And then they write reports about each part of the family to the judge. And then the judge is able to make a decision as to whether the kids go home, whether the kids stay in care, what the kids' needs. And those are all made part of the case plan. There's a case plan made by Job and Family Services, and the parents are asked to to complete the case plan.
We want to, first of all, thank you for the service you're providing, which is invaluable for people that have that need. You wish everybody had a good home life, everything was hunky-dory, and your agency wasn't needed. But there are needs that are met,
Absolutely.
and it's a calling for people, and we appreciate that. Now, you've got a fundraiser coming up early May. Let's talk about that. And this is going to be some fun for some folks, right?
Right.
I will talk about it. Okay, so on May 4th, I have the information in front of me so I don't mess this up. May 4th from 10 to 3, we are closing down a section of street in Circleville, which is very cool. So tell us again, Scioto and Franklin.
Okay, so we're going to be closing Franklin Street between North Court and Scioto Street. And we're going to be offering vendor spots. The vendor can be anything. It doesn't have to be necessarily a craft. It can be anything that you would like to set up. The tables are going to be you're going to have a spot approximately 10 by 10. It's $25 a spot. If we have any overflow, we do have permission to use the parking lot there. And we're real excited about it. There's also going to be a Megabytes food truck there.
Megabytes is so good. I'm very excited about the food truck. That stuff is delicious.
So we're really excited about this. Again, if you're interested in that, if you would like to be a volunteer or you'd like to be a vendor, or if you'd just like to come and shop and eat, that's great too. But I would like to put the phone number out there if that's okay. It's 740-420-2906. That will come directly to my office, and one of us would be more than happy to help you out if you want a vendor spot. But also if you want to be a volunteer, reach out to our office. We can send you out some information to decide if that's something that you would like to do. And
You said $25 a spot.
yes.
What if I wanted to pay $50 a spot?
Man.
Would you accept that?
We would
Absolutely.
reject your $25. I'm just joking. We would be so excited to have it.
Absolutely. We'd really like to get approximately 75 to 100 vendors is kind of our goal at this point.
Which means that there's going to be, if this is open to, it's not just crafts, it can be all kinds of different stuff. There's going to be some really good shopping downtown with food. So we really hope that everybody comes out and supports CASA.
And we should make sure that everyone knows there's always good shopping in downtown Circleville.
Yes.
So this is
So
extra
true.
shopping.
My
in
wallet is
downtown
acutely
Circleville.
aware of this very real situation in downtown Circleville. Yeah. Yep.
Is there anything we've not covered that you wanted to mention?
I don't think so. We do also are going to have a fall event. We don't have the exact date of that. That's going to be a silent auction. We're also accepting donations for that if anybody would be willing to donate anything. It's always a fun event. So
It is. It's always a good time. And I think the one thing I would want to stress to people is CASA is amazing because it really is volunteer driven. You know, we have these wonderful staff who put in so much of their heart, but really when you think about the fact that this program is driven by volunteers. We are always looking for people who do have a big heart, who have a little bit of time where they want to go in and genuinely make a difference in a child's life. I think that speaks to people. And if you are one of those out there who is maybe looking for a place to plug in and be involved and give something back to some kids who are at risk, who really do need a voice, that's what we say, you get to be a voice for a child. Please get involved with CASA. It's not a huge time commitment, but it's so important. And so I really hope people hear this and are interested in getting involved.
Yeah, if you've ever looked for something to do, you got something.
Exactly.
Right. And with that being said, they say the approximate amount of hours that you spend as a CASA volunteer is around 10 to 12 hours a month. We offer all kinds of trainings on a monthly basis also for the volunteers, just so they know what's in the community and what's available for them and what they can offer the families.
And you support. This is the other part. Sometimes that sounds intimidating when we talk about going to court. Cindy and her staff are there to assist and support these volunteers every step of the way. So it's not like you are left alone with this huge responsibility. You have the guidance that you need. You have a court system that is eager to hear what you have to share. So it really is a meaningful opportunity.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Prince, good to see you. We didn't give Prince a microphone, but he does speak, right?
We can try. Prince, speak. Speak.
His face right now. I am not here to entertain you. That's
says,
exactly what he's saying.
I'm reserving myself for the kids.
Oh, so close.
Prince, thank you. Cindy, thank you. Marie,
Thank you so much.
Always good to see all of you. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for
coming
having
in.
us.
And thank you for watching as well. And again, if you can help out in any fashion, please do so. Again, the information is right there on our screen. Thank you for watching another special edition of Litter Media Live.
Thank you.